those of you listening, watching this podcast, Jeremy don't say four sentences without using the word my team. Man, it was a few years ago. I called you or I reached out to you. It was right around December. I was asking you to do something. You said, my team and I'm gonna check with my team because my team and I was like, dude, this is something I gotta get on this because there is something
Mhm.
to moving as a team, working as a team, leading with a team behind you. Just kind of talk about how team has helped you with the work you're doing and the work you've done.
Yeah, man, I am where I am because God has blessed me with a great team. I tell people all the time, my first team member, was my wife.
Yeah.
Well, after that little girl in that middle school told me she was going to commit suicide, but I saved her life. I went home and I told my wife, I said, babe, I'm about to quit my job. And she's so gangster. She was like, I'm gonna quit my job too. I'm like, I ain't praying, but like God ain't tell me. She was like, nope, I'm quitting my job too. And she worked for the government, bro. She was in Huntsville, Alabama, working for Redstone Arsenal, Jacobs ESTS. They was a government defense contractor. She had a great job, healthcare, but she walked away from it. She was my first team member. Then during the Grace tour, we brought on Ebony. That's who you were working with to set this up, right? Ebony's
Yeah.
been with us now for over 8 years, close to 9 years now. And she was my first assistant, kind of personal assistant, booking manager, etc. And then we kind of just grew, what I'm saying, over the years. And so now we got a whole media department. We got a content team. I have a chief operating officer. I have a director over our programs. I have two program coordinators. So we've got a team of about 20 plus individuals across our different companies and entities. And a lot of them, again, still kind of intertwined together, which is really cool. But I have been blessed with a great team. And my biggest thing now, I've got a CEO coach and a mentor. I just reached out to him. He recommended me a new book to read, which was What Got You Here Won't Take You There. So I'm about to crack that book open, but I'm constantly trying to learn and grow to be the best leader I can be. Because I'm looking at my team, bro, and I'm like, man, I have such an anointed, God-fearing, spirit-filled team of individuals. And it's like when we get together and we do events, like it's a vibe. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, God is doing something special. And God just told me, man, take care of those who take care of you. So
Yes.
I'm big on taking care of my team. I'm big on sewing into them. I have a thing called H&M. Whenever I have to have a hard conversation, I go H&M. And I'm not talking about shopping. The H is for your heart. The M is for your mind. So I want to talk first. Let's talk about your heart. How's your heart doing? Is your heart in a good place? When they see that's clear, now let's talk about your mind. Let's talk about mindset because you're not at peak performance, and I really expected better from you. But was there something going on with your heart? Is there something going on with your mind? Okay, let's make these adjustments. And so God has just showed me like to give the team grace, but keep them sharp. But they only gonna go as far as I go. So I'm having to constantly grow. I'm having to constantly humble myself and make the necessary changes and adjustments so I can be the best version of me because they deserve the best leader. And then when we come together and you got all the Holy Ghost with us, you got like, bro, at our conference in 2022, I did an appeal and didn't even mean to on our opening session. This is our speakers conference, bro. We ended up baptizing 45 people.
Yeah.
And then last year at our conference opening session, my opening keynote, you got 600 people in here just looking at me like, oh, that's my coach, that's my mentor, the GOAT, Jeremy. I'm thinking like, bro, I ain't that deep. Yeah, I've cracked the code to success. Yes, I'm a seven-figure speaker. Yes, God has tremendously blessed me, but don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I still grew up without the absence of my biological father, repeated failure in school, drug and alcohol abuse, a diagnosis of ADHD. I went to 3 different schools for the ninth grade. I've been arrested so many times I can't count. Like pornography, like I struggled a lot. And then when I hit the reset button and figured it out, God still had to grow me. Marriage counseling and just a lot of stuff I had to fight through. And as I began to share my story with them, and I'm like, but the most amazing thing I did, October 17th, 2009, I gave my life to Christ and I got rebaptized. And I look up and people are just coming to this front of the stage. I bother call it the altar in tears. And Holy Ghost was like, bro, give him the pill right now. We gave him the pill, and we had some of the other pastors in our community facilitate the baptism. Bro, we baptized 115 people by accident.
Mm.
That wasn't even our plan. But it just
Yeah.
goes to show, what God is doing through us, and through our community, because I have such an amazing team. They all Christians, they all believers from different walks of life that I've known through relationships, and I'm handpicking when God said, up that person or up this person. And I see their heart posture. Man, bro, when we come together, it's like a spirit-filled, unstoppable force. So I'm always talking about my team, man, because I'm so grateful to have such an amazing team. And I'm working every day to be the best leader for them as possible.
Dude, that's the word right there. But listen, folks, team. You can't do this thing alone. Whatever you're trying to build, you got to build it with someone. You got to bring someone else along.